Do you ever feel like a piece of rubbish in a bin? Do you ever feel like you don't want to be seen, you don't want to be heard, and you don't want to be noticed in a crowd or in daily life? Do you ever feel like you're hiding a dirty secret inside, like a rotten apple core deep within? Shame is so insidious that we don't even know that we're feeling shame. It's like a second skin. And we learn to take on shame as if it's who we are rather than it's what we feel. So shame is when we feel like we've done, not when we feel like we've done something wrong, but we feel like we are wrong. Shame is when we feel we are terrible rather than we have done something terrible. As children who grew up around a parent's drug or alcohol misuse, we would have been taking on negative messages from around us and having these deep imprints into our psychological makeup, which we will be now carrying forward into our adulthood. So for example, as children we might have been at school, at primary school or secondary school, and our mum or dad would have been coming to pick us up from school, turning up to the school gates either really drunk or high on drugs, and our school friends would have been noticing our parents acting strange or weird, and that would have been highly embarrassing for us as children. However, we didn't see that we were feeling shame as children. It was more that we learned that we are shame, and we internalised that shame deeply within us. And for children growing up around drug or alcohol misuse, we might have been on the receiving end of very negative messages, lots of judgments, shaming, criticisms, and blame. And we wouldn't have been able to differentiate or see that our parents were offloading, in a way, their own negative upbringings or thoughts or beliefs that they had learnt from their parents. There are 3 steps that you can take to start to change the relationship to the toxic shame that you feel within. Step 1 is to identify the triggers. So it might be in social situations, at work, or with family and friends, and then to notice and identify when the shame is coming up within you. So when it does come up, then you can give it a name, such as the shame monster or the shame gremlin. So I might be at work and I might start to feel ashamed about something, and I'll say to myself, okay, that's the shame monster again. Step 2 is to find a loving voice within and to speak to that part of you that is feeling ashamed, whether you've called it the shame monster or the shame gremlin. And this might be how you might speak to a child or even your own child or a cute puppy, and speaking to it with loving, supportive words. Finally, step 3 is to take 3 deep, full breaths in and out as you are sharing and speaking these loving words to the shame monster or the shame gremlin.